label data, if you are unable to create label data, then you may go for unsupervised. So unsupervised learning, the techniques are visual component analysis, or like you can say clustering methods. Clustering also will be divided in multiple types: algorithm clustering, divisive clustering. So based on that, we are able to utilize the technique and we can train the model, and then after training it over, we are able to classify. Finally, classification and regression, these are the two tasks will be there for machine learning. Regression means if you have continuous output, you may go for regression. Linear regression, multiple regression, polynomial regression, logistic regression. Okay, the same way classification, that means you have only binary output, two outputs, yes or no, positive or negative. In that case, you may be able to classify as SVM. One line will be created, one line will be positive, one line will be negative. We are separating the data. This line positive data, this line negative data. Maximum margin needs to be considered. Or we are going to create a tree. That means there is a parent will be there, child will be there, child will have sub-child will be there. So we can choose the path. Which decision? So by one decision, by another decision, we are able to classify. That is gently classified. In simple learning is we will take multiple classifiers, and in that case some classifier will provide weak result, some classifier strong result. So we are ensembling multiple classifiers, and then we are able to improve the accuracy, like boosting technique, bagging technique, many techniques. So I can start now related to Python will be the language. Okay, I'll take very short, okay, because we have very limited time. So you have to cover entire part. In that, I believe you are familiar with Python. Okay, in Python, there is a general purpose high level programming language, and it's connected with all other languages. Whatever the languages we have used like C, C++. So ultimately, we are familiar with language, and we can utilize Python in easy way, because all components we learn from basic languages, we are going to inherit. Ultimately, C will have procedure-oriented language, and C++ is object-oriented language. So both components will be utilized here. We can write a program. In C, we can use for loop, while loop, or particularly if-else conditions, or multiple components will be there. And C, data structure is important. So we have data structure. Data structure means we have collection of data. So collection of data, here we can say particularly list. So we have to create the list set, or we may have dictionary. Dictionary means pair value will be there, key value will be there. So that is the ordered collection of data, or unordered collection of data, or structured. Data is organized in structured way. So we can do various other concepts like a file handling. We need to open the file, close the file, read the file, write the file. Likewise, we have condition. We have if the condition will true, else, multiple else, or else if. Likewise, mechanism will be utilized for decision making. For looping, looping is required for repetition tasks. So you can use for loop. If you have unknown how much time the loop will work, so you can use while loop. So these are the two loops are there. Conceptually same concept we are going to utilize here also. So you should not go to learn the language. Just directly you should remember you are familiar with languages, then you can use it. So our concern widely used among the developer community. Most of the community nowadays replacing to the either MATLAB they are using, or either they are using this language. So Python, already I said, general purpose language, that means can use for multiple applications. General purpose means anyone can use, like data science, like script, like machine learning, like desktop application, website development, many tasks we can do. High level languages means human understandable language. That means with strong abstraction from details of the computer. So related to Python, we can just observe that Python versions came. We have seen various versions came in the market from the past 20 years. So it started from Python 1 version from 1994, then 2, then 3, then 3.11.4. Recently, that is June 2023. So Python does not support backward compatibility, as the feature 3.0 are not available in Python 2.0. So three versions will not support the backward condition. That is the main problem. Library will be updated. That means you have to change the complete coding. That is the main problem, because library updations are not back propagated with the other cases. So already Python has many reasons. Why it is popular? Because demand a few reasons. Emphasis on code readability. You can see that if you want to write a code in C, how you write a code? You have to write a library, studio.h, then void main, then bracket start, then integer AB, then print value, then scan value, then close the bracket and return 0. Likewise, the code will be there. And if you want to print hello world, you should write this code. So in the bracket, your code will be there. Now in the Python, directly print hello world. Then hello world will be printed. So a single statement. And this will be work under the compiler level, and but interpreter, Python will support to interpreter. Line by line, statement by statement, we can run the code. I think you all aware about that. So here it's a code readability, shorter code, easy writing. So programmer can express logical concept. In Python, fewer lines of code will be available as compared to other languages like C++, Java. But in C++, you are using classes that you can use same here. You are using operator overloading that you can use here. You are using polymorphism, then you can use here. You want to use inheritance, you can use. Inheritance means the object which is already clear another class, and you want to use another class. So you can inherit that attributes in another class. So likewise, OOPS concepts will be utilized here. Similarly, Python supports multiple programming paradigms. Object-oriented, as I already said, interpretive function programming. And it provides the extensive support library and dynamically typed language. Okay, so this is the type based on value assigned. These are the certain features you can observe from here. So the core of philosophy for Python is summarized. That means the gen of Python, Python 20, which include these are the characteristics. That means beautiful is the better than ugly, implicit is the better than implicit, simpler is better than complex. So like readability count. So these are the certain introduction point of view we can understand. So simplicity is our requirement. Python is interpreted. Interpreted, I said, it's a line by line, statement by statement interpreted language. So the code will be directly converted to executable file through Python. But in terms of C, C++, it will convert into, that means bytecode. Then finally it will convert to execute. Two-stage conversion will be there. Compiler will compile entire code. Then finally complete compilation will just execute and the code will become error-free. Then you are able to run the code. But interpreted line by line, you can easily directly run the program from the source code. Python convert the source code into intermediate called bytecode. That which then translated into native language. No need to worry about linking and loading with libraries. So that was the problem when we were using other programming language during that time, C++ or Java, linking and loading the library and then finally locating the library in particular memories. That was there in earlier language. But here directly we can utilize and dynamically type. So do not need to specify the type of variable. That means we should understand about in languages, all are familiar with data types. You have data types, integer, character, float, all are data types. So we do not need to worry about the type of variable. It has simplicity. They decided what type of value in there and how the value can be assigned at a runtime condition. So next, so related to simplicity, that C, Java, if you write the code, that means relate to this public class hello world, static void, then system.out println. This is the statement we are in. Here simple print hello. Very simple. So this is the way we can learn about next. These are the scalability. Python support to scalability, that scales very fast, and as well as all languages which we are using like .NET, like other languages, C#. So Python is a leader in scaling. That means Python has more and more possibility. Saying that Python supports will provide the, even if you are having known Python programmers who knows only C++ design. So Python will be better than in terms of time needed to develop, verify the code, corrections also. We can do very fast corrections. So it happens fast because you do not spend your time for find memory leaks or work for compilations or segmentation faults. These are not required here in this case. So the next, libraries and frameworks is very easy. So due to the popularity, Python has hundreds of different libraries. So many libraries has created from the past 10 years, and frameworks also very great addition that we have developed for a developer purpose. So lots of manual time, we can say, easily replace the whole solution. So particularly a geoscientist will find the many of this library will be focused on data visualization, data analytics and machine learning. That means if you are working under that domain, they can utilize all many libraries, particularly for data visualization. That means we can utilize the data, visualize the data, like you are using in MATLAB plot statement, subplot statement. So by matplot library you can use it. Likewise you are using array handling or many other data type handling, you can use pandas library. So likewise various data libraries are available that we can utilize, like for application of image processing. You are using in MATLAB IMRead, IMShow, many commands. Now here also we can utilize with the help of OpenCV, CV2. That is available. And with respect to data analytics also we can develop with respect to machine learning also. So libraries and frameworks, that is the more important part here. Huge community. There are many people are working in that domain. If you find Stack Overflow, if you are facing any error, you type the error, you may get many helps through internet. But in other programming cases, you have to solve your own problem. But here community is very strong. That is the main important part. Powerful community is there. And you might think that should not be one of the main reasons. You need to select the Python, but truth is vice versa. So if you don't get support from other specialists, your learning path can be difficult. That is the main important, because if you are facing a problem while writing a program, then it will be difficult to manage. So that's why you should know that this won't happen when we are using Python. That is the main important task. So according to that, application areas, we have software development, we have data science and visualization, I said, we have web scraping, we have desktop GUI development. We are using GUI on desktop. That has developed, website development, and YouTube, they are using sharing of video through Python they develop. So many companies like particularly Google or particularly YouTube or IBM, they all are using our website development, internet scripting. All these kind of applications we are using through Python. So Python supports are huge, that means website development and machine learning and AI algorithm implementation. So as of now, we have seen Python is scalable. It's particularly it's a very popular because of the huge libraries are available, because of the various frameworks are available, and because of the huge community are working in that domain. That is the main important part. And various applications, as we can see here, so we can start getting started. So finding an interpreter. That I said we are going to use IDE. Everybody know about IDE. You are using languages, so you must aware about IDE. IDE means Integrated Development Environment. Like you are using Code Block or Visual Studio. That is, we can say, as IDE. So IDE is our requirement. So there are many interpreters available. That is purely from Run the Python. So related that can be bundled with Python software. Python packages are there, we can download that by python.org. So online interpreter like we can use for Geekforge, Geek.org, that can be used Python program, Anaconda. So we are working Anaconda Navigator, under the Anaconda Jupyter Notebook we can install. Now one more advantage in Anaconda Navigator, if you are utilizing, like you need not worry about your workstation, your computer, directly you can use Google account. So Google Colab, co-laboratory, Google is providing server with online mode. Okay, that means you need not require to install the complete software. Directly just log in Google Colab, and in Google Colab there is a notebook is there. In notebook line by line you can write the code. And library also you need not worry, directly install libraries are there. In runtime also you can use GPU, you can use TPU. So almost you all are familiar with that. That means directly we can start the program, we can run the program, and we can buy very cost effective. That means 1 month 1000, and we can utilize. And but if data is increasing, that is the one currency. Another memory. Memory means you should have more memory in your Google Drive. Google Drive need to store, so you should have 15 GB normally. But normal companies, industries, they are providing, or institute are providing, like government institutes, they are providing us more than 200 GB.
that means we can do the research. But private, you have to buy. But we can buy the memory also. That is also not that much costly. If you are doing research, you want to store 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, you have to buy them. So likewise, Anaconda, so distribution is Python and R programming for scientific computing, and aim is to package management and development. So related to, we can start, that means like just type in following code. That is a start of the interpreter. So print hello world. So you can write the print hello world. But if you are going to write a program in C, what way you write? Studio.h, quantity.h, iostream.h, many libraries you have to integrate. And then compiler will compile entire program. If any error will be there, if you are able to trace, okay. If you are not able to trace, search it. So once your program, but there are many bugs will be there. There are many problems will come like a garbage data collector or dynamic memory management. That means we need to declare any array. So we have to declare with respect to perfect data structure. Like in data structure, what we have studied, malloc. By that way, we have just start the memory and that free the memory. Like that, dynamic memory allocation we will utilize. And dynamic memory allocation is very important with respect to data collections. Data will not become a garbage to the system. So that is the main important while design of embedded system, embedded application. Okay. So here we have learned linked list, we have learned stack, we have learned particular binary tree, AVL tree, many things, non-linear data structure, linear data structures, all we can utilize with respect to Python. Okay, depend on your applications. So ultimately Python comments, single line comments. That means just like a simple statement we can utilize. Single line comments start with the hashtag, that is symbol with no white space. This is the comment. Yeah, this would be a multi-line. So Python is that several lines like that. So comment, there are useful information. The developers provide the maker and reader to understand the source code. Like in normal programming, where whenever you are writing a program in assembly for microcontroller, microprocessor, the right hand side we are writing a statements, like that is called comment. So comment, by that way we can understand what is the meaning of that command. So built-in types. So there are various kind of informations that computer can process, like numbers, characters, as I said, data types. So data type is also very important while writing a program, either in C, either in C++, or there are many programming languages are there. If you are EC, you are using Verilog, VHDL. Okay, like people are using TCL for creation of ad hoc network, communication network. So various languages will be there. So Python and R languages which are very popular, that is the kind of information language will be able to handle, that known of type. So many common types built-in Python will be there, like integer, floating point number, strings. Mainly these are the data type we are using. So according to that, integers like integer type whose numbers such as like 1511350 or -35 1.5, not an integer because it's work as a decimal point. But 1.5 you have to declare as a float. Next. So floating point number. So like that floating point number, our number are decimal point with exponent. Like both will be there, 5.0, 10.24, 0.0, 12, like that. So this is another data type. Next. So related to another string. String is a sequence of characters. That means string is a Python surrounded by single quotation marks or double quotation marks, like that. Print, hello world, hello world. Both are the strings we can declare. So many type of information that compiler can process, like numbers, characters in Python. This kind of information are there. Like variable. So variable is a label and locator memory. A equal to 20. So A with 20 will store in A. That is called variable. So we have the variable that is located in memory that can be used to hold a value. That means we need to store the value. Where result will be stored, like example, you have entered A equal to 2, B equal to 3. You want to add two numbers. So C equal to A plus B. So C is the variable that will hold the value. So like here also we are using, this is the how we create the variable that is called count. As I said, total number, which contain the integer value of 0. Next. So likewise we have definitions. Count 0, we have declared count, we store the 0, we define count equal to 2. So variable is a label for location in memory.
So it may only contain later uppercase, lowercase numbers. It may not start with number. It may not be keyword. So that is the purpose we are using this. Now operators. So we are having many operators: arithmetic operator, logical operator. So many operators are there. Operators are the main building block of operation in the languages. So operator allow the programmer to perform different kind of operations on operands. So it may be same in terms of C, in terms of C++, or it may be MATLAB, or it may be Java, or it may be Verilog, VLGN, many languages we are using. So operator would be the same techniques we are using to just like a operate the data, operate. So arithmetic operators, these are the operations are there like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. All these are the operation we can do with the help of operator. So arithmetic operator precedence also will be there. We are using with respect to how the procedure will take place. So bracket will be there or without bracket will be there. If bracket will be there, the calculation will be different. But if bracket is not there, it will be precedence by like that. Then multiply, then division, then this percentage, then plus and then minus. This is the priority is there. If you are not using bracket, so that already you are aware about that. Then relational operator. So that is equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than. These are the relational operator we are using. It returns the true or false according to the conditions. Now logical operator. So you know very well logical operations, and, or, not, XOR. All these are the operations we can do with the operator. Okay, so these are already aware conditions. Everybody knew about that. Okay, so basic data input. So in C, what we are doing? Integer, we are entering the value. Integer will be declared, float will be declared. Then we are inserting the input. So we have to ask the input from user. Input will be the user input, and the output will be generated by a computer. That means result will be presented on the screen console anywhere. So likewise we have the input. We have to just say take the input from the user and evaluate. So like input, enter your name. So you will enter your name. They will ask. So likewise many GUI you are using. There you are writing a like you are writing, you are filling a form for any exam. So what they are asking? Enter your name. So it will go as a character. They are asking your age. That will go in number. They will ask some other value. That will go in float. So likewise float data type, or integer data type, or like character data type, or like string. So sometimes name is a string. Okay. So likewise data type implies an input will be identified. Then Python indentions will be there, selections. So selection is a Python made by using of two keywords. So how we are going to select? Like you want to design a one program that is to 60 students, you want to create a results. So you can say if the person having 60% first class, then 60 to 50 second class, then less than 60 third class. So likewise condition will be there, so that selection is Python. So selection is not a common, it's not a different thing, it's a common for all languages. So if you write the program in Verilog, if you write the program in MATLAB also, you can use if a equal to this value, then output, or all other value will go else, or you may have multiple condition, if, else if, then else. So likewise this condition, so like if mark is greater than 80, grade is A, that is CGPA based, then 65 grade B, then 58 grade C, grade D, likewise grade B to print it. Result can be printed. So like this is the fundamentals of Python. The two guides, if, else if we can use, others are we can use. Now syntax and data structure. As I said already, Python support all variables and data types. Python supports control flow like if, else, loops, for loop, while loop, and functions. So you can write a function. So in C you have written function. In C++ you can call that functions. Multiple times that function can be utilized. So Python also will support functions. Functions are reusable block that is available in terms of code. Like MATLAB, what they are doing? IMRead. IMRead is not a command. It is a function. They are calling IMRead. Then IMRead a complete one code. It has written initially by 2000 line. Now by MATLAB IMRead 8.jpg. It may read entire image and show the image. I am write. Okay.
So likewise, that is, you are thinking like a command, but MATLAB, what they are doing, they are converting all programs in terms of one function, so that they are reducing the complexity for user. So likewise, MATLAB has developed the GUI for machine learning. What GUI you are doing? You are just taking the Excel sheet, you are calculating the features, you are applying machine learning classifier, and you are generating the classifier report, and you are getting the all parameters. Like last class we have seen true, positive, true, negative, false, negative. So all this can be just code. So it's a usable codes that perform the specific task that is defining as a function. So these are the syntax and data structure. Now setting up your Python environment. Use Anaconda distributions. Environment must be created virtually, and you can start the project through Jupyter Notebook. So Jupyter Notebook will provide the interactive coding environment that you are going to start with coding environment. So Anaconda is a freemium open source distribution that is support for Python and R programming language that we are using. So that language particularly for large scale data processing, predictive analytics and scientific computing. Aim of the Anaconda is simplify package management, deployment of various packages versions that manage. So overall 4.5 million users are there. They are using Anaconda distributions, Python data science and machine learning. It includes 100 of popular data science packages, Conda packages, and more virtual environment for Windows operating system, Linux operating system. So it does not depend on one operating system. We can use, so Conda makes we can easy to install, easily we can run, easily we can upgrade, and complex data science and machine learning library that also can be utilized. So related to how it is different from Python, that means overall Anaconda data science libraries are there, 1000 Anaconda curated community data science packages are there, and we have developed the data science project by using a various IDE. It supports Jupyter, it supports Jupyter Lab, it supports Python, RS Studio. So we can analyze the data, we can see the data, visualize the data. We can perform with respect to these libraries. NumPy is there, Pandas is there, NumPy is there. We can visualize the data with Bouquet and data shader or various matplot library. But that means we can see the plot, we can visualize the plot. Finally, we can create the machine learning, deep learning models also by scikit-learn library, TensorFlow and H20 or TAN. These are the frameworks or APIs are available. Now we have to install the Anaconda with respect to particular Python versions, Python 3.3, any version, and with respect to operating system also we can install. Once installed, after the installation the process will be Conda repository will be there. It will support to Anaconda repository, support to cloud, support to enterprise, support to Conda Forge. This community will be there. Like Anaconda will install, this navigator window will come. So you have to launch the Jupyter Notebook. You can launch the Spider, you can launch any. So we can use now notebook, Jupyter Notebook. So once Jupyter Notebook will come, just you have to install the various packages. So pip and Conda installer will be there. Pip is a package management system used to install the management of many packages through pip command. Python 2.7 later versions they are using Python 2 series. Python 3. version later version use pip 3. So likewise we have to install by various packages and libraries. Like that, these are the commands are there. Pip list, outdated, pip search. So these are the packages you can see. Pip install package, install the package more than that, environment and package version, package uninstall, or package upgrade. All these statements can be utilized. We can create the virtual environment, and then we have to write a program like that. First we have to create the environment, then we have to activate the environment name. Then install the Jupyter, Conda install Jupyter. This command need to work. Conda install C, Keras, TensorFlow. So one will be the front, that means front end, another will be back end. So we have to utilize Keras and TensorFlow. So that will be Keras with API. Conda install OpenCV library for support of image processing library. Conda install matplot library, support of plots in other versions, and TensorFlow with respect to GPU. That is the version will be there. Now machine learning already we have done.
Yeah. So whatever the way we have utilized, what is the benefits when we are going to see the machine learning? Powerful processing, better decision making, quicker processing, accurate, affordable data management, inexpensive, analyze the complex big data. That is the main concern. So whatever the steps we are going to apply here, first we will see the problem statement. First you have to decide the what kind of problem you are doing. So related to problem statement, you have to define the problem. Then we need to talk about preparing the data. You have to collect the data. Already data has been collected from various sensors, various sources. Should be there in organized format or appropriate format. Or if it is not there, you have to organize them or prepare them. So preparation. After that, evaluate algorithms. Various algorithms as per the data characteristics. What kind of data you have collected. Then improve the result. Then present the result. So that is the steps is going to apply. So already we have seen traditionally what we were doing earlier days. You all are programmer from your BTech onwards, from first year onwards. We all are programmer. We are using programming from first year onwards. So we were using the traditional methods. When I studied during that time, there was no machine learning. I was doing the programming with the Visual Basics, Java or till .NET we have learned. But after that, we are VC people, we have learned other languages also, very long VHDL. So that are languages over there. Then we have entered into MTech, Masters, we learn some other languages. Depend on the projects or depend on the research, dissertations. Then when we started to research in terms of PhD, then we started to know various languages like Python became popular because of that reason. But nowadays it became popular towards the graduation levels. That is why machine learning also became popular. But machine learning does not require an academic level. That is only for computational level. If you are doing some project, if you are doing some hardware capability work, then you can use it. So here concern is computation work you are doing from the long back. Okay, from the past 40 years, you are using that thing. But what about machine learning? Data, result, then computation will be there, generative program. So you are producing the result by traditional programming, but here you are producing the program. That program is like a one program in your brain is there. You know you have seen something, so you can recognize. So like you have seen the Taj Mahal, so you can recognize. Someone has not seen the Taj Mahal, so will it is recognized? No, you cannot recognize. So you are aware about that. So that means you can recognize. You can say that is Eiffel Tower, that is a Pisa Tower, that is the like different towers are there. Qutub Minar or whatever you have seen. But something you have not seen, not trained by your brain, you cannot recognize. So ultimately one program needs to be written for machine learning. That is the computational process. Based on the data and the result, you are designing a program. That is the difference between these traditional methods versus machine learning. So these are the work we are doing with machine learning: classification, categorizations, clustering, trend analysis, or various anomaly detections, visualizations, and finally decision making. So these are the representation. We can create a decision tree, we can create a rules, we can create a logic, we can write a instances, graphical models, neural networks, support vector machines, or model will be ensemble. Ensemble means multiple algorithm parallelly will work. So some method will be very strong for some kind of data, some method will be strong for some other kind of data. So you can combine all methods and you can identify the votes. So which method has given highest voting will be calculated. Based on that, the result will be evaluated in terms of classification, in terms of like decision making or other aspects, or predictive analytics. All these cases will be there. Evaluation, already discussed in the first lecture, evaluation will be carried out by various performance measures. Performance measures means accuracy, precision, recall, square error, mean square error, okay, PSNR, peak signal noise ratio, or posterior probability, or cost, or margin, or entropy, or divergence. Many parameters are there. Depend on data. Which kind of data you are having, or which kind of applications you are performing. Based on that, performance measures will vary. So optimizations is our concern. That means you have to apply the many optimization methods, like a genetic algorithm you have, linear programming you have studied. So likewise, like greedy search method is there for combinatorial optimization, convex optimization, gradient descent method will be there. So all are aware about neural network. Neural network is resemble with brain. So whenever you are thinking your brain having neurons, some weight will be there. Likewise, whenever you are designing a neural network, weight will be there. How will decide the weight? So weight will be decided by optimizations. That means you are just thinking on pressure on the weight. So particular weight will be optimized by the gradient descent method in artificial neural network. And what is exactly procedure we are learning? So we have the output and we are predicting the output and we are matching. That is called error. If your error will reduce, that is called loss is going to reduce and accuracy is going to improve. So our ultimate goal is reduce the loss and increase the accuracy. So loss is going to increase by more number of times of learning, more number of iteration to learn different kind of object with their features. So by one weight we learn one feature, by another weight we learn another feature. So likewise multiple weights will responsible to learn different features. And finally this feature will be added to classifier. Classifier will say as an apple as an apple, banana as a banana, cat as a cat, dog as a dog. So classification result will come finally. So here also gradient descent method is perfectly responsible to reduce the error by changing of weight. So error will be computed with respect to weight, delta E by delta W and approach to 0. That will be given by optimizer gradient descent method. So likewise many optimizers are there. RMS prop is there or ADAM will be there. Many other optimizers depend on what kind of data you are using, what kind of algorithm you are using. So likewise constraint optimization like linear programming everybody has studied. It is very popular because linear programming requires some objective functions are there. Based on the objective functions you are solving the problem, you are finding the final outcome. So these are the optimizers available. The features of machine learning, that means so already we have classified the algorithms. Training data include desired output. Training data does not include desired output. Training data includes few desired output, that is semi, and reward will be given based on the actions. These are the types of learning. So this is the case. We have images of 100 written numbers. We are going to generate the machine learning algorithm and we are going to identify 1, 2, 3, 4. We are going having emails. We are having generating machine learning algorithm. Generate. They are finding which mail will be going to the spam, which mail will not be going to spam. It will go to the inbox. So based on that we are going to classify. So these algorithms will identify based on their features. So libraries, these are the libraries. NumPy used for the n-dimensional array. Pandas used for data analysis library. Matplot for a two-dimensional plotting library, particularly for creating graphs and plots. Scikit-learn library is required for algorithms for data analysis and data mining. And Seaborn data visualization library based on the Matplot library. So various libraries will be there. NumPy, numerical computing is a version. Popular Python library will support to numbers. SciPy library, very popular library. This is the original image. This is the other different image. Resize image. So this is the library which use machine learning algorithms. It contains different models for optimization, linear algebra, integration, statistics. So SciPy is also very useful in image manipulation. When you want to use image manipulation, this library will be utilized. So top of the basis is the Matplot library. So in MATLAB what you are using? Plot A, B. You want to plot two plot in a single plot. So you are using subplot. Subplot will create 2, 2, 1. 2, 2 cross 2 matrix 1. 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, 2. So second number. 2, 2, 3. Third number. 2, 2, 4. So like 4 images. If you are having 3 cross 3, 9 images. So 3, 3, 1. 3, 3, 2. 3, 3, 3. 3, 3, 4. 3, 3, 5. 3, 3, 6. 7, 8, 9. 9 images will come. So you want 16 images in one plot? 441, 442, 443. That is subplot. Same thing will be here by matplot. So you cannot avoid the other languages concept that will be inherited. Understand? So subplot means you want to plot 2 in. So 4 plots will come. But if you want to separate plot, plot A, plot B, plot C, plot D, like single plots will come. So you may use single plot, all plots may come. Like precision, recall, all plots you want to bring any papers you are printing. You are keeping in the paper publication. So you are not keeping separately. What you are doing? 4 plots. Copy and crop and paste. So area will save. So 4 plots will come in one area only. So likewise, matplot library will support for plot. So pandas library for data analytics, data frames, data cleaning, data analytics. This is the data will be available. We can utilize. So pandas are very popular Python library for data analysis. As we know that data set must be prepared before training. So likewise, we have created data in Excel sheet and we can read by .csv file. So it will be created like that: quantity, capital, array, area and population. This 0, 1, 2, 3. This country, this is the capital, this is the area, this is the population. So we have to apply that pandas library. Then scikit library. Scikit is basically creating of multiple architecture in machine learning like SVM, logistic regression, decision tree DT, or ensemble learning, or random forest RF. These are the machine learning classifiers are there. We can use with this. Some are supervised, some are unsupervised, some are semi-supervised. We are using. So OpenCV. It's very popular from the past 10 years. Created by Intel. For particularly read a image, show the image. But earlier we were not using by C, image reading and all. Once they have given this library, then we were able to use image processing through the OpenCV library. Otherwise we were using MATLAB. So with C and C++ we can use OpenCV, we can use image resize, image filter, image enhancement. All image processing libraries will work by OpenCV. So like that, these are the reason of interest. These are RGB image. This is the drawing a rectangle. This is the rotating of image. These are the operations we can perform with the help of that line. Applying a machine learning to energy system. So what are the requirement energy systems are there? Demand forecasting. As yesterday we have discussed, predicting the future energy or energy resources. Which resources? Renewable. Either solar, either hydrogen, or either other wind energy. So various energy will be predicted using historical data and weather information. So predictive maintenance. You have to maintain the system. So when this projector will fail, you have to predict. So if it is working, 10 years is over, then we should understand any time it may got failed. So failure maintenance will be there. Depend on that, it will identify the reliability. Reliability component will be given to every device. So your phone you have purchased. So you believe how long you will work with your phone. 2 years, 3 years, maximum 3. You believe like that. You purchase television. So you believe my television will work 5, 6 years at least. You have purchased two-wheeler. So you believe it will work for 6 to 7 years. Okay, recently project 2025, you believe at least it will work for 31. So that is the main requirement you have to predict. Maintenance. Energy optimization. But if you are buying a two-wheeler, what you are doing? Every 6 months you are going for servicing. Otherwise it will not work. Understand? So maintenance, energy optimization and grid management. So we are providing the electricity, generating, transmission and delivery. So how to optimize? So improving the grid stability, efficiency through the real-time monitoring and control. So why energy system matter? Because global demand and sustainability. So as our concern, how we are employing the machine learning for sustainability. Sustainable energy solutions are very important for us. So we have to mitigate the climate change impact and economically we have to rely on that. Okay. So we are not only rely because of only petrol will over or diesel will over or fossil fuels will over. We are also relying the cost also increasing. So that's why we started to utilize electrical vehicles nowadays. Criteria is we are worrying about
how long will you have to utilize petrol, the cost also matter for some people. So reliably energy infrastructure derives the growth, it enhances the economical product. So production point of view also, so challenges in modern energy systems, these are the demand forecasting, grid stability and fault detection. So early fault detection is very important. By that way we can prevent outage, we can minimize the downtime. And demand forecasting, accurate forecasting is very complex and impacted by many variables. And we have to maintain the grid stability and integrating the renewable in one issue. So introductions to deep learning. So neural network at the core, and neural network extended by deep. We started use neural network. We utilized 2 layer, 3 layer. Then we have increased more layer, 5 layer, 6 layer, 10 layer, this is 16 layer, this is 19 layer, just like 50 layer. Likewise, it became more complex. Structure became many complexity. So data-driven approach, deep learning needs larger data set and allow for accurate predictions. Similarly, we can use algorithms for pattern determination, pattern identification. These are the various key trends are there with respect to complex data, and this provide the valuable insights. Deep learning for demand forecasting. So data collection, our first requirement, and model training. So during model training, if you are aware about that, there is hyperparameter, number of layers, number of filters with their kernels, max pooling, types of pooling, max pooling, average pooling or global pooling. Any poolings are there. Then what kind of optimizer you are using, SGD, RMS prop or some other hyperparameter would be there, like activation function. ReLU, eReLU, eLU, many activation functions are there. So you have to decide. So that is training time you have to use. So data will be collected, model will be trained, and real-time prediction. So we are going to implement the real-time forecasting based on the data and optimize the energy. We can distribute and minimize the waste. All these are the concerns with respect to, and enhance the grid stability with deep learning. So real-time analysis, predictive maintenance or automated response. So system will provide whether this system has failed. So this system has failed. So automated, it will be analyzed that area some fault occurred. So fault will be recognized and response will be provided. So deep learning enhance the grid stability. If it will be self-healing will be there, self-fault tolerance will be there, self-predictive analytics will be there, automatically reliability increase, stability increase. So real-time analysis for grid condition is main requirement. Predictive maintenance prevent the failure. Automated response will optimize the performance. So optimization of the performance is very important. Fault detections and diagnosis. As I said, sensory data will be collected from various sensors. So in an electrical plant, any plant will be there. Any sensor installed, like a distillery plant or like a cement plant. So various sensors installed and continuous process is going on. We don't know which sensor failed during operation time. So we have to collect the sensory data and we have to anomaly detections and we have to provide the rapid response. So this area fault occurred, provide the rapid response. So like deep learning will help to improve the fault detections, analyze the sensor data for anomalies, enable the rapid response for a potential issue, and it minimize the downtime and improve the efficiency. So various trends are there: renewable energy, distributed energy generations, energy storage technologies are there. So flexibility and emerging players like virtual power plants, electric vehicles. These are the new trends we are using nowadays. So emergence of new system with interesting control problems. So these are the trends over the last decades we are using. So control objective. Control objective is minimize the cost. So online control with respect to rule base. This is the heuristic technique. This is the neural network technique. This is the predictive control. This is the dynamic programming. So rule based will be solved by these two techniques. Optimization is solved by predictive control or dynamic programming. These are the two aspects we are using. So we can use with respect to multi-layer network and deep neural network. So which are having performance high. This is going to analyze later. But it's a offline support medium. It is also require formulations, and online computation cost is high. In this case low. Require predictions yes and no. But it can use for all. So related to this control, what we are using. Why deep neural network with other learning methods? Because huge variety of systems and applications are available with deep learning. And we don't know what are the features will be there. Could probably study a single instance of system and pick out the right features. So really possible that deep neural network and having to learn for control. Now training and evaluation setup. Generate the training data, train the model like a regression problem, and evaluate the performance like a control performance. Simulate the system using the neural network and we will make the control decision. So suppose solve the linear programming offline to generate the data set. Regression problem will develop the model, and finally we are going to evaluate the control performance. So training data through linear programming. So neural network input, load, these are the input will be collected. PV generations, battery, state or grid price or PV predictions for the next or load prediction for next hours. These are the network input will be there. Then we can generate the model. This is the fully connected network, and these are the hidden layer, and this is the output. What is output? Charging power is how much? Discharging power is how much? Power bond will be there, and power sold. How much power has generated and how much power has sold. This is the network based on this input. That can be developed through the neural network. So neural network for regression problem, cost functions. As I said already, input will match with the correct output. So whatever the output will be there, predicted output will be there. In between you are computing, that is called error. So it may be mean square error. So square error, this is the predicted output and actual output. Y cube minus y, that is mean square error. So if it square error will reduce, that means you are approaching your exact result. So you must know neural network concept is what? Input multiply into weight, then weighted sum, then send to activation functions. Activation function threshold will provide the non-linearity and output. But what output? Result is already on y and exact y. Y minus y, what is there? So you are having the ground truth. You are having exact result. That is the meaning of machine learning. What is the meaning of machine learning? So when you learn apple in the first class, you were not knowing apple as an apple. The teacher taught you apple as an apple, but after 10th standard, you know apple as an apple. Someone has shown you apple, you recognize this is apple. But when you learn first time apple in your childhood, somebody taught you alphabet A on the board, then you learn A, and finally you recognize and take exam also someone asks, write A, so you written A, but different way you written. Second standard you read, same thing you studied. Third standard same thing you studied. Likewise your brain has trained. So same procedure we are giving to machine. So we are showing A, just A as A must recognize, but A will be written by 1 crore people by different way or not. But in hospital you are going, or in bank you are going, you are giving your signature. 10 years ago your signature will be given and still you are giving a check to the bank. Bank is recognizing, but that result is not 100%. It is 70%, 80%. But if it mismatch, what will be there? Bank will return your check. Return or not? Many times, because aging, your same signature will be there. Still same signature you are doing 10 years ago and now. Variation is there or not? But that is the mechanism. So machine also will deviate sometime. So confusion. So what way confusion we are giving in machine learning, deep learning? Augmentation.
You know data augmentation. So we are showing the alphabet in reverse manner, rotate. And we are increasing the size of the alphabet by scaling. So likewise we are making or we are creating a confusion to the machine. Like I am observing just now. If you go to the code and I have seen the person from 10 feet far, code will not believe. They will observe first my eyesight. Because it may be possible, I may see you, I may not see you properly. But if you are in first this much distance, eyesight will be able to recognize. So they won't check my eyesight. So 10 feet and 1 feet, they won't rely your judgment. Won't rely your judgment. They may judge you with your eyesight first, whether you are healthy or not. If your eye is not healthy, they won't believe on your perception. Like machine also will confuse. If you are showing the object by like that, object like that, that is the procedure of augmentation. So we are adding the augmentation. That is the one approach in deep learning. I think everybody aware about data resizing. Like that. So here also ReLU is introducing the activation function. That is for non-linear. And finally Y must be matched with Y by using of optimization. That means going back, change the weight. Going back, change the weight. Going back, change the weight. Who will do change the weight? Optimize. Understand? So cost function will be the mean square error. Activation function on output, that is the calculation there. Evaluation performance, we are calculating the result of objective functions. That means we are simulating the system using neural network, make our control decision, adjust the control output to satisfy the customer. These are the visual inspection of neural network. Charging, optimal charge. Buying, optimal buying. Buying is different, optimal buying is different. So optimal condition, optimal discharging, optimal setting. That will be calculated by A. So hidden layer, mean square error loss. Training and testing, number of hidden layer. Mean square error, simulation with grid cost. Training, testing. See that number of training time loss is decreasing, but here is a and this is the number of, so 3 layers, 50 nodes, 10 inputs. This is your hierarchy. And how the control neural network will be cost. So this is the loss and this is the simulation grid cost. So this is the wind farm optimization, smart grid management. So in the future, continue to tune their hyperparameter. That is our requirement when we are a developer of here. 8 predictions for solar load as an input, 8 PV panel battery size as input, compare the other control algorithms, explore the way to integrate the real evaluation of neural network into training. So AI is widely used in the particular all renewable studies like PV, like wind, or like a combination for planning, or particularly construction, administration, prediction, regulation and transmission. It is necessary to develop AI software packages could help to recognize the electricity effectiveness and investment for individual and trades in coming. And particularly correction and optimization of renewable with electricity network utilizing AI will improve the flexibility, dependability and electricity consistency and profitability. That is the main burden scheduling. And AI has the potential to change the numerous power individuals or industries and boost development in upcoming years. That is the main concluding part of this part. Okay, so next part will just continue with the particular case study on this MATLAB as well as Python. Okay, so there is just 5 minutes break. We'll continue on.